Good evening, and welcome to the 24th edition of the webinar LIVRESQ Empower Your Teaching. My name is Raluca Bolocan, and I'm going to be your host tonight. And we have exciting news regarding AI. So if you're watching us live either on Facebook or here in Zoom, or if you're watching a recording of this and you have any questions regarding the use of AI or any other features of LIVRESQ, please leave a comment or stop me during the meeting. I will be answering questions live as well. And if you're not watching us live, then we can answer questions that you leave in the comments. But without further ado, as you've seen or you're looking at the description of this video, we have exciting new features regarding AI and generating text in AI that will hopefully come to your aid when you're designing courses. So it's a lot to do with instructional design and with things that you can add to your courses. And I'm really excited to show you exactly what we mean. And for that, I'm going to be sharing my screen. Also, we have some questions that have popped up in the registration form, and I know that a lot of the people who register for these meetings cannot participate live, but we will try to answer as much as possible all of your questions so you can watch back the recording and get an answer to your questions. First of all, AI, and then we'll get to the questions as well. So we have new features related to the use of AI in the text box. So things we can do regarding the generation of text. Now, it works in the same way. We haven't changed anything in terms of UX and UI, which means that in order to generate text in LIVRESQ, we need to have a text box, and then we need to click that text box. And under properties, by default, this properties tab on the right here is open. And under it, we have AI Enhancer still in beta. And when we open this tab, then you will see that the new part is here in terms of tasks. So we can now perform tasks in text that already is there. That's why I already have some text about New York City. So this is a blank project. In case you've never seen the LIVRESQ before, this is what it looks like. I've really done nothing to this project in terms of setting, in terms of settings and how it looks. So this is a blank project. I just added a very small text box like this. And in that text box, I added some generic text about New York City. And now let's look at what we can do with or starting from this text to this text and with this text. So I just have a little bit of general information. Before, this could only be about rephrasing. So we could only rephrase this text, and we could generate new text using the AI text generator. I'm not going to get into the second part. We have previous videos on that unless you really want me to. But just to show you the new things that we've added. So we can give it a task. Right now I've selected my text box. The text that is in my text box is automatically copied into here. And I can ask it to do certain things. And this is a long list of things that it can do to this text. And in order to sort of have an outline or a timeline of what we can do, I'm going to duplicate this text box so that we can see where we started from and what we end up having in our project. So this is my original text. Now for the one that I've duplicated, since it's not a lot of information, first of all, I just wanted to give me more content. So from this long list, I'm just going to select more content and click on this button that will generate and will perform the task that I've given it. So right now, by clicking generate, I have to wait for a few seconds, and then it will generate more content, more text, starting from the original text that I've provided it. So right now, what I'm expecting, I don't have to enter a prompt. The prompts are automatically created. This is the text that it's generated. It's a small box, so I'm just going to click on Use in order to see the entire text that it's generated. So I started with a little bit of text, And now I have more details about New York City. If I double click, I can change anything. Maybe I want to make this in bold or anything from the text box menu that appears once we double click something. I can change anything that it has generated. But the idea is that I can start from a little bit of text and I can automatically, without having to write a prompt, generate more text, generate more content. Now let's say I'm happy with this and I will feature it maybe in an accordion. I can just copy paste this text and use it in a more interactive way if I want to, but maybe I want something else. So let's see what other things we can do or what other tasks we can perform. And again, I'm going to duplicate this text box by using this button here. So I can work on this little bit of text on the text that it's generated, on more content. And let's look at more tasks. So for instance, maybe I want to create a quiz based on the information that I've just been given, based on the content that I've just generated. And I can ask for it to create a quiz outline by pressing this button here. The same way we can click on generate, and then after it's generated the quiz, we can click on use. And then when we need to create the actual quiz, we can add the resource quiz to our project and copy paste the content that the text in the text box to our quiz. But just to give you sort of an idea, and you can create, if you're an instructional designer, for instance, you can create even more complex tasks. You can ask for learning objectives for a certain piece of content. And we'll try this because this is a really great one in terms of using AI for brainstorming, for instance. Let's just use this text first, and then I'll continue what I was going to say. So we have a quiz now with 5 questions based on the information here. So we have a multiple choice type quiz, and we even have feedback that we can copy paste into LIVRESQ in the quiz for each option. So if the person or if our student, if our learner chooses Gothic Revival, the feedback will offer this explanation. If they choose the correct answer, which is B, it will offer this information. And we can just copy paste this into a quiz and it all becomes really easy. And now I will duplicate this because now I'm using the content as the original information. I don't want it to change. I don't want to give it a task on the quiz outline, but I want to give it a task related to the original information that I've just been given. I will duplicate this. It's selected. And now maybe I want to create, for instance, a video script based on this information. I wanted to imagine a video to sort of give me an outline, give me a script of what I can do in terms of creating a video out of this content. And again, I will click on generate, wait for a few seconds, and this is what I meant by it being really creative. I really like using AI in brainstorming because even though you might not necessarily end up using the exact ideas that it's given you, it's a really great tool that can help you have a starting point or can give you more ideas that you can build on. And this is what this new tool and what these tasks are meant to do, to sort of help you perform some tasks, to give you a starting point and to help you outline different bits of information, and especially when you're designing online lessons and online courses. So right now we have a video script. I'm going to click use again. And it's even giving us like the timeline of every screen. So we have a transition, we have a text for a narrator, and on text screen, scene transitions. So we can very easily, if we're familiar with some basic video editing, use stock videos, use the voice generation, and we're going to get to that in a second because we got a really interesting question. tonight from one of our users. We can use LIVRESQ or tools from LIVRESQ to create this video. And it's a 5-minute video, maybe since we don't have that much text, we can make it shorter. But still, we have a starting point. Again, if we wanted to change something, or if we check this information and we find out it's not 100% accurate, it's very easy to just double click and change. And you've probably seen that when I started exploring sort of these tasks here, that you can choose between a lot of tasks meant to help you create online courses. So we can auto-complete content, we can ask for visualization ideas, maybe for what images we can add to that content to make it more visually appealing, to have it give us learning objectives, game-based simulation. Maybe we want to have some frequently asked questions based on a piece of content, scenarios, which is a scenario for a general like a lesson plan, outlines for slides if we want to transform it into a slideshow presentation of something. So it really gives you a lot of tools to help you create content and to help you brainstorm content and also transform content that you already have into an e-learning module that works and that's really interesting and engaging. And again, you have this text, similar to a storyboard, for instance, that you can then use. Here, again, to create quizzes. Here, maybe to create a video, we can use this as a video script, exactly what we asked it to do, and the actual information, which we can present to the learner in many different ways. And in previous meetings, I've shown you lots of resources you can use in order to show and to introduce information in an interactive way. Now, I wanted to keep duplicating this text box just to show you where we started and where we ended up. So we had a little bit of content, a few words, just some general information about New York City. Then we were given more information in an organized manner, which again, we can edit very easily. Based on that information, we were able to create a video script for a video material. And we were also able to create a script for quizzes. A quiz comprised of 5 questions with feedback, because if you watch the video on quizzes in LIVRESQ, you'll see that you can also give the learner feedback for each of their answers in the quizzes you create in LIVRESQ. So this is new, this is what's new, and this is what you can now do in LIVRESQ. And I've shown you this in a very sort of simple way. If there are any questions, please go ahead, either ask me right now or leave them in the comments and we can go over things again. Again, the basic thing, the easiest way to access the text generator or the text tools in LIVRESQ is to add a text box, select it using a single click, and then go to AI Enhancer. If you don't have the text box selected, this will not work. And it's also worth mentioning that anything to do with AI in LIVRESQ is available only to premium accounts. So bear that in mind. If you don't have a premium account, you will not be able to access this AI Enhancer tool or any other tool that uses AI. And now if there are no questions from that appear right now. Oh, what does the scenario task do? So the scenario, I'm going to duplicate this again. I almost missed your question. Excuse me. Okay, so I duplicated. This is the longer content that I've just been provided with. We're going to click on scenario, then generate, and we'll see what it actually does. It will essentially give us a scenario for an e-learning material for any e-learning course, small course, micro-learning in this case, because we really have a little bit of text, so that it can help us organize the information. Kind of like a lesson plan, but designed for e-learning. And this is actually one of my plans to have this meeting, in one of these meetings to talk about, it's created a scenario. I'm going to regenerate. It's created a scenario in Spanish. Sometimes it does that. I think it's a bug. I mean, it's the first time I've encountered this. But you have a scenario in Spanish. It was able to do that. Oh, hold on. I've asked it to create it again on the, here we go. Okay. Here we go. It's in English now. So once we click use, it's given us some information. So it's reorganized the information so that it's more designed like an e-learning course and not just like a brief presentation of the information that we've just provided it with. The more you try or the more you select, you play around with these frequently, with these tasks, you'll see that you get different results. And the great part about it is that you will never get the same result twice. So don't feel shy about retrying if you don't quite get what you want. And also, if you want it to generate something else, you can always write the question, select the length of the answer, and then just like ChatGPT, and in fact, this is the OpenAI system that was integrated in LIVRESQ, it will give you an answer. All right. So now answering the questions and the main question, which I'm going to answer in to show actually how to do it in 3 separate ways very quickly, was how LIVRESQ can help English teachers. And this is a very interesting question for me because I'm an English teacher. So thank you for asking that question. And the good part about this, or the great part, what I'm trying to show you, is how you can use voice generation or video generation for um, different accents and for audio-based content. Because of course, all of the tools that you can use in LIVRESQ, so any tools that you are using right now are very versatile in terms of what you can teach people, including language learning. But we all know that listening comprehension is a very important part of language learning, and that's why it's great that we can now generate like little bits of content that's audio as well. And you can generate audio automatically. And for English, we have a wide range of voices and a wide range of accents to choose from in 3 different tools, at least, in LIVRESQ. And the most simple one, and for this I'm going to add a new row, and then I'm going to drag and drop an audio resource. I will double click this, and here we have a change button, which allows us to generate. Hold on. I'm going to take a little bit of text from my video script. Here we go. I've copied this back to my audio resource. I've double clicked it to edit it. I know where I am because I have the path right here, up here. Then I click on change, generate. And again, this is only for premium users as well. I can paste the text here. And now I can choose for English. As I've mentioned before, we have a very wide range of accents. So if you want to practice maybe even differences, and I've done this before, I've created a lesson that was about pinpointing the differences between accents of English. So you can do that quite easily. We're going to keep it to a standard American accent. And even for a standard American accent, we have a very wide range of voices to choose from. Maybe we want a male voice. We're going to choose Andrew. We can change the speed or the pitch, which means that at least for English, we have thousands and thousands of combinations. If you want to create characters and maybe create a dialogue, you can compile these little bits of audio together and you can create that. And now let's see what it does when we click generate.
New York City, a place of dreams, a melting pot of cultures, a beacon of architectural innovation. Let's take a deeper look.
Here we go. So it's even adding with technology for text to speech is getting better and better, and it's even added some emphasis on different points. I did not give it any information or any other indications. If you want to do this, and if you're passionate about text to speech, you can go into SSML and sort of add more code to it. But in this part, the way that it was designed, I've just given it the text, and we had emphasis, um, we had that feel of a real person actually reading that. Let's try it with a different voice as well.
New York City, a place of dreams, a melting pot of cultures, a beacon of architectural innovation. Let's take a deeper look.
Okay. Once we click save, now this audio, the audio that we've just generated, is integrated in our section, and when the learner gets to this part, they can play it and they'll hear what we've just generated. And you can generate voices not just in an audio file that we've just seen. By the way, you can download this audio file using this button here. If you want to use these files separately to bring them together into maybe a dialogue, and we've done this quite a bit. So you can download this and then blend them together in a different tool, maybe in the future in LIVRESQ as well, but you need a different tool that can compile several MP3s, because this is an MP3 together. So it's not just in an audio file that we can generate voices, we can also generate them on the avatar if you have a premium account. So if I just add an avatar, a message or a person or a virtual assistant, this is what it looks like. I can generate sound for it. So maybe let's take something else so we can hear something else, something shorter. Here we go. We'll go to our avatar. We'll enter the content here. Again, there's a previous video that presents avatars in detail, that gives you more information on how to use avatars. And we'll click on generate. I've chosen a male voice because this is a male avatar, but you can combine them in whatever way you need to combine them. I'll click on generate.
New York City isn't just a cultural hub. It's an economic powerhouse.
Here we go. Perhaps a very masculine voice for our little avatar here. And right now, this is the voice that's narrating the lesson. And we can place the avatar strategically. You can go back and watch that video. And you can have this professional sounding narration for your lesson. And this technology, the text-to-speech, is taken one step further when we generate videos using AI. And again, we've showcased this before. I'll just add a video randomly to my material. I'll double click. If I go into AI generated here under change video, I can select a character, and then the character will lip sync, the character that I've selected will lip sync the text that I've provided it, and we can even add gestures now. You can click on insert a gesture and it can perform certain gestures as it's performing, as it's telling you, as it's reading that text with lip sync. So really advanced things. Great for learning languages, but of course not only this. It's just something that I thought would really showcase the power of language learning, because sometimes it's really difficult to get native speakers or to get recordings of native speakers to show to students. And this is a great way to do this. I've shown you for English, but if you're exploring different languages, if you can check out for French as well, German, whatever foreign languages you're trying to, we really cover, I think, all languages in the world. That's because we haven't yet found a language that is not covered. So you can explore that area. And in terms of very widely spoken languages like English, you have also a wide range of native accents that you can browse and generate text in. All right. So I will not do this now, but you can again go back and watch more information regarding the video generation tool. If there are no other questions, it was really nice to be able to talk to you about these features, and I'm really excited to find out what you think about, especially about this new update for the AI generation, all these tasks. If you have suggestions for adding maybe new tasks, or for maybe any sort of feedback regarding this update, is much appreciated. It was really great meeting you tonight. and because it's quite late here in Romania. And again, leave us a comment, ask any questions, and we're really excited to hear from you and to hear your feedback. Thank you so much for your attention, and I will meet back here in 2 weeks' time on Thursday at 6 p.m. CET. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are.